While Cheecham Bridge fulfilled its promise of connecting people between two cities, Spiti's most sought-after monastery awaits us at the top of a hill. The largest monastery of Spiti, at a height of 13,670 feet, did leave us breathless. But what took our breath away was the dance of the valley. Again, the cameras are not allowed inside, but a monk from the monastery was really generous enough to invite us over a high tea with him.
हजार साल
यहाँ बुद्धिस्ट फिलोसफी में पढ़ाई जाता है ना, हमने ट्राई करना पड़ता है बुद्धिस्ट फिलोसफी में है ना।
अच्छा,
उसमें लग जाते हैं तकरीबन 21 साल तक।
यहाँ होती है वो?
यहाँ अभी सब बच्चे छुट्टी में गए थे ना।
अच्छा,
अब 2-3 दिन में सब आ जाते वापस।
सब यहीं रहते हैं?
हाँ जी,
रहते भी हैं।
जैसे ये वाला टोटल 200 तक होंगे।
It was a nice conversation with him where he shared that scholars are only taken from Spiti and none were allowed from outside. But people from outside Spiti had the option to go and study in Dharamshala if they were interested to pursue Buddhist studies. This was done keeping in mind that outsiders may not be able to bear the extreme weather conditions, especially in winters. When asked why we were invited for the surprise high tea, he shared it was the monastery's tradition of welcoming the visitors to make them feel warm at this height. So imagine 21 years the monks live with a mission to complete their studies. So you don't lose your hope on yours and call it a mission impossible yet. As for me, my mission is tired for the day and needs some charging at this amazing homestay that we are staying in tonight. So with this lovely balcony view of the snow floating with the mountains, I would call it a day and see you tomorrow. Take care and good night. Good morning, everyone. Let's see what the last night nature romance brought us today in the morning. Well, just look at that. Just look at that sheer beauty in the morning.
नमस्ते झूले चाय मिल जाएगी कितना टाइम आधा घंटा चलो ठीक है टेमसिंग जी कैसा लगता है यहाँ पे होम स्टे में काम करना
I also today happened to run into a vlogger who is deep down into road trips and has driven here in Kaza all the way from Bangalore. So let's hear something from him about his experiences.
एक्सपीरियंस के बारे में क्या बोलूँ, मतलब रोड ट्रिप इज़ लाइक अ डिफरेंट बॉल गेम ऑल टुगेदर. और उसमें कैसा होता है कि वंस यू गेट यूज्ड टू इट you don't feel like taking any other mode of transport and all. And the next thing is, if you love driving, then nothing goes beyond it.
Like, did you any kind of experiences on the road? Did you face any difficult or any interesting that you would like to share?
Roads always give you something different, irrespective of how many times you travel in the same stretch, right? तो हर बार कुछ ना कुछ अलग मिलता है. तो स्पीति में स्पेशली इस बार बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग था. साइट सीइंग के टाइम पे बारिश हो रही थी, स्नो हो रही थी, स्टोन्स गिर रहे थे, देयर वाज मेनी ट्रेचरस प्लेसेस. की बार लांगजा के रास्ते में देयर वाज फुल ऑफ मड, स्लस, काफ़ी रास्ता ख़राब था, टेरेन ख़राब थी. तो इंटरेस्टिंग बिट ऑब्वियसली.
When asked about what things needed to be taken care of before going to a new place, he shared we have to have a thorough knowledge of the place where we are going to, since that would give us an idea of what the local culture is, how people live, and things to avoid that might hurt the sentiments of the local people.
Anything?
कुछ बेसिक सिंपल चीज़ें हैं जिसमें कभी कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ मत करना. पहला, कंटेंट की क्वालिटी. दूसरा, नो शॉर्टकट्स. ये मत सोचना कि कुछ एक हैपनिंग चीज़ लाके कहीं से उठा के डाल दिया और उसमें से ना 1 मिलियन 2 मिलियन व्यूज़ आ गए, देन निकल पड़ी हमारी. ऐसा नहीं होता है दोस्त, रहना पड़ता है इसमें, ठीक है. और ज़रूरी नहीं है कि 1 साल में 2 साल में आपको सक्सेस मिल जाए. इट मे टेक अप टू 4-5 years. बहुत बड़े बड़े ब्लॉगर्स के साथ हुआ है. हैव पेशेंस, कीप क्रिएटिंग एंड डू नॉट कॉम्प्रोमाइज ऑन ऑडियो क्वालिटी इन योर ब्लॉग्स. बी वेरी स्पेसिफिक विथ योर ऑडियो क्वालिटी, क्योंकि आप जो बता रहे हो सामने वाले को सुनेगा अच्छे से तभी समझेगा, देखने को तो वो देख सकता है.
While having breakfast, we had this local bread, and I'm forgetting the name now. If you know the name, please put it in the comments below. The next place that we are heading to is actually an interesting one. It's called the Gue Mummy Stupa. It's actually a mummy of a monk called Sangha Tenzin, who gave up his life about 500 to 600 years ago by a process called self-mummification. Now, what happens in self-mummification is that the monk eats a particular plant diet for 1000 days that depletes all the fat and other nutrients from the body that could decompose it. Once that happens, he is put in a tin container by his fellow monks and put underground. He is facilitated with some oxygen through a pipe, and he confirms that he is still breathing by ringing the bell at regular intervals. Once the ringing stops, 1000 more days are given and the box is taken out eventually to confirm the process of self-mummification. Okay, seems like we've reached. It's time to meet the mummy. Another thing to note is that the teeth, the skin and the hair on the mummy, they are still intact without any preservation, which is just so amazing to know. We are heading to Kalpa Kinnaur, our last stop in the journey, and explore locally whatever time we have in our hands. Now that our journey is coming to an end, I am thinking of sharing whatever I have absorbed from my experience in the trip. If you want to share anything significant from your side, you are more than welcome to post it as a comment.